Hello, welcome to the JG3 Watch channel, and I believe this will be my first video reviewing watches for you guys. I'm super excited that I'm getting to share my passion with you guys, so let's get started. My name is Jesvin, and today we'll be reviewing the Seiko SNE277. So let's talk specification. The Seiko SNE277 has a Seiko caliber V158, so it's a solar, so you can see there. It's 46mm in diameter, 11mm thick, has a lug width of 24 and a lug to lug of 51mm. So it's a pretty big watch. Actually, very big watch. Weighs 95 grams, classic Seiko hardlex crystal, and 100 meter of water resistance, so you can bring this swimming. I believe the power reserve for this watch is 10 months when fully charged, and it takes both artificial and natural light. So if you really just leave it there in a room, at least with some light, it'll never die on you. Very robust, as it has always been for me. So I don't know why Seiko made this watch so big. I think it was during a time when, when big watches were like a really manly thing. I felt really manly wearing this watch. But as you grow over time, as you start to get to know more about watches, you kind of realize that maybe smaller watches fit you, and that's the same case for me. I don't really wear this watch anymore, but I keep it for memory's sake. I still do wear it sometimes, but not as often. So originally this one came in a rubber strap, makes it look really sporty. But unfortunately mine rotted away, so I had to replace it with this waterproof leather strap, so it kind of keeps in with the sporty theme with it. So why did I want to review this watch first? Well, this was the very first watch that really got me into watches. My dad got this for me for my 15th birthday in high school, and it has been with me ever since. Still ticking. As you can see, I did not baby this watch. You can see all those scratches. The hardlex crystal is even scratching and even fogging up even. But yeah, I believe I didn't baby this watch because, when you weren't really into watches at first, you don't really, I don't know. You think of it just as a watch and then you just kind of use it. But over time, when you get to learn more, you watch videos about watches, you watch all the other watch reviewers, you get to know watch brands, you get to know movements, you have a greater appreciation for it. And that's what I'm doing with this now. This watch is around 5 to 6 year old, so it's halfway there being a vintage watch. It's still taking fine. It keeps good time, considering how I've banged it up and everything. I've dropped this watch from chest level. I literally swiped it over a table, really flung it across the floor, and it's still ticking fine. I even brought this swimming in the ocean in Indonesia. I went snorkeling with it, and it's still fine. The case back, nothing too special, just a flat case back. The crown, nothing too special either. It's not signed, but it's not plain. It's painted, and I don't think it's ever gonna fade. I don't know if it's paint or is it just ceramic. I'm not sure, but it adds a nice touch to it, so I appreciate that. So as you can see, when you start to really look inside a watch after some time, you start to appreciate it. And here's what I appreciate. When this watch came out, I struggled finding the release date for this because it's such an uncommon watch. I've never seen it reviewed much by people, so I resort to looking at my serial number here. So it's made in September of 2013. Considering the price of this watch, which retails around $225 to $230, and considering the price, I think this watch looks way more expensive than it is. And if you look closer, I can tell you why here. The indices are all applied. The skeletonized bars here, the numerals, the logo even, everything is applied except for the solar text here. That's not applied, that's printed. but it adds a really nice depth to the dial with all the applied indices. The hands are skeletonized. The indices here are also skeletonized, so it adds to that really modern minimalist look to it. And I really like the touch of blue here on the dial. Combining that with the seconds hand makes it really cool. Makes it really sporty. And you can see here the dial, it's really clean. I love the design. I think it kind of reminds me of coils. So it looks kind of robotic at the same time. Considering it's from Seiko, a Japanese brand, it reminds me of a Zen garden. Those concentric circles. All nice little touches. And what's unique about this watch is that 45 right there. Usually watches are like 369 or 12, 36, 9, and you know, to make it bounce and everything. But Seiko decided to go for a 45 there at the 9. I don't know why, but it adds that unique touch to this watch. Maybe I should even nickname this the Seiko 45, because that's what it is. And I really like how they match the day-date wheel with the dial color, so it doesn't stick out too much. And usually I like a day-date frame that is framed around a metal frame around it, but for this case I think it looks nice for this watch because it really blends in with the dial, makes the dial look really clean, especially with that one text there. It's just a really clean casual watch. Who is this watch for? Well, I think it's really just for casual wear. You know, if also you've got a bigger wrist circumference, I think this watch could also fit you well. Maybe even better than me. Who knows? I'll show you a wrist shot soon. But yeah, I think this watch is really for a grab and go type of watch. Because really, it's solar, it won't die on you. You know, unless you kind of damage it even more than mine. Because as you've seen here, it's a really robust movement. And it looks sporty and classy at the same time. So, a decent watch. Alright, let's do a wrist shot here. Put on my wrist. As you can see here, it looks kind of big on my wrist, but it's not too gaudy. And I'll show you more shots of this from a different perspective. But you know, considering the thickness of the watch and comparing to how big the diameter of that dial, it's quite manageable, to be honest. It's big, but you know, it's not too in your face big. It's got that classical look on it too, so it's not gonna be too out there. And that's what I kind of like about this watch. It's easy to read because of that 45 too. Include that with how big the dial is. It's a really clear read for time. I think I'll keep this watch. Even if it breaks, I'll just keep it. Because this is the watch. The very first watch for me that got me into this passion for watches. So this would be the review for the SNE277. This has been Justin from the JG3 Watch channel. If you guys liked it, like and subscribe. And we'll be doing more videos for you guys. Thanks a lot.